Hello, y'all, and welcome to another Single 8. So, your name is?
My name is Joseph Mills. Your name is?
The Single 8.
That's right. So, as we shared with you last week, we were going to talk about the very last stage, which is getting that real ID. But I thought it would be cool because it has been quite a while. We're going to go from stage 1, single H coming out, to the step 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to go through the order. Does that sound like something we could do?
Yeah.
All right. So welcome to the entire journey of the single H on this episode. And let's talk about day 1, when that you came out to yourself.
I think that was back in 2021. If I'm correct, I may be wrong.
It might be late 2020.
It may be late 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll start even farther back. When I was younger, I would always kind of feel like a weird blob. I never entirely made sense in any puzzle of gender that you'd see at a young age. I would always I would go toward both in weird directions. Like, if we're going off of things that I like, I would, at the same time, really like Power Rangers, at the same time would enjoy watching My Little Pony when I was younger.
Yeah.
Watching Doc McStuffins and having having a good mix of things that would always point, and I would always find someone on both sides of the track that I found that I identified with.
Yes.
And then around, I'm going to say late 2020, early 2021, in the midst of COVID, and I watched one video that finally had the word for it.
Yeah. So
and broke down.
All right, let's hold on just a second, because I want to stop some emails that I've already gone out to the single8show@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Power Rangers can be a girl thing.
Yeah.
My Little Pony can be a boy thing.
Yeah.
But what you were trying to express is you saw male and female characters and began to find your identity in different ways. It's not that you liked girl things and you liked boy things. You started to see traits of yourself in masculine and feminine characters.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, proceed.
And some spots were heavily more, but I always would have a deep feeling whenever I would call a girl or would kind of gendered in any way. It'd go into the deep dark hole of self-conscious and then go, there's no reason, please no. That kind of always kind of made me feel weird, and I never really liked it.
Yeah. So then you watched a video and it gave you a word for it. What was the video that you were watching?
I was watching a Jamie Bogger video. If you have been on the podcast for a while, I've talked about him.
And say his name one more time.
Jamie Bogger. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering your last name.
Jamie Bogger.
Yes.
Okay.
He is a British trans YouTuber.
Yes.
And I was watching it and go, oh, that's just what it was all along.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then a little bit while after that, I came out to you guys for the first time at trans.
Yes. So after Jamie Bogger, did you become aware of Dreamer before or after you came out to us?
before Dreamer.
Because I thought it was Dreamer that really
No.
started to help you construct what was going on.
No.
Okay.
I think it was that because it's like the different sides of the track.
Okay, so
It wasn't a like direct complexion at that age.
yeah.
You kind of need like direct reflection to see yourself most of the time.
I get that, and because that Dreamer is a MTF character,
Yeah.
you didn't see yourself in that journey.
Yet.
Yeah. Yet.
And then
So then you came out to us. You came
Yeah.
out to Ricky Kane
Ricky
first.
Kane first. For the first time, we need to clarify. For the first time, I came out to you all. Cause I came out like a couple times after of a couple different things when I felt comfortable.
Well, I only
'Cause I-
remember like some. Explain that to me, because I only remember the big moments that you were just
Good.
blatant about it.
I came out at like non-binary when it kind of like when we got into the more
Yeah,
more precise conversations.
and that's when you started wearing more vests and button-up shirts and hats to hide your hair and stuff.
That was
That was
before I came out.
But that's what I'm saying.
That was foreshadowing.
That
Sure.
was, but that's your time period of wrestling with non-binary.
That was my time period of wrestling with being trans.
Okay. So that's a very important part of it. You trying to see yourself in different ways.
Yet, cause for a very long time, and I always see myself in Jack Kelly,
Uh-huh.
which is Jeremy Jordan character in Newsies.
It's also Christian Bale's character in Newsies.
Yet,
He's Batman.
yeah, but
You found your transgenderness in Batman. Admit it.
no,
Okay.
I did not watch that version of Newsies
But
first.
specifically Jeremy Jordan's portrayal.
Yet,
Yeah.
I always kind of saw myself directly in that.
Yeah.
And I got into Newsies, and it kind of like, that's when the dysphoria started popping up more.
Yeah.
Like, more clear, I'm like, oh. Like, more when you and JSPD would try and get me into dresses. I'm like, no.
Well, and honestly, we weren't trying to get you. Well, you know what? We were trying to get you genderized a little bit.
Yeah.
That is a fair statement. But neither one of y'all would ever wear a dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all the ones that we could afford were the drafty ones, too.
Yeah, well, we had Doctor Who dresses and Star Wars dresses, and
Yeah, most of those were for Ricky.
Ricky Kane had a Captain America dress for a while.
Yeah.
We would have done the same for you.
Yeah, but I was already in the dysphoria.
But the whole deal with it is it wasn't your thing.
Yeah,
It was never your thing.
yeah.
And that's fair.
Because if you know me in person, I am a dress shirt, throw me in a hoodie
Yeah.
type of person from the very beginning.
T-shirts and hoodies.
T-shirts and hoodies that let me not have to deal with being uncomfy and having to feel anything on my chest.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So it was that kind of, like, looking back, like in elementary school, I could see it.
Yeah.
And weird. Cause, like,
Well, explain that. Like,
so, I'm gonna preface something. My first period was the most amazing gift at the age of 11.
you were quite young when you started menstruation. Yeah.
So, once my period started, and that's when it hit, and I'm like, kind of went, that does not work for me.
Yeah.
This did not work.
So you started, maybe it was a chemical shift or...
Yeah. I think my brain and body went, oh, this is the wrong chemical.
Yeah.
Like, this is wrong.
So you could feel yourself acting against it.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Like, this is wrong. Proof from my body directly the week after I started tea.
Yeah. And your body started, excuse me, we're live, pal. Your body started adjusting to that.
Super quickly.
Yeah.
Your body knows what's going on, peeps.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of in elementary school, first year of middle school, what when dysphoria was kind of at the highest that it could be.
Yeah.
Except when like certain places would happen.
Yeah.
You know. And it that kind of was kind of that it was a weird thing already that I'm kind of like, oh, I do not fit at all.
Yeah.
And that's when my brain was clocking it.
Yeah.
And then around summer of 6th grade, I was at, give me a second, pal.
We're live, pal.
It's allergy season in California.
And with the fires right now, it's picked up a bit. It was scout camp, right?
Yeah. I was at Girl Scout camp.
Yeah.
And that's when my brain goes, oh, this is wrong. This is so wrong.
Was it the environment where you're just like, I'm not like these other friends here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, unlike going with my troop, I was there alone.
Yeah.
So I was already kind of going into myself.
Yeah.
So I then kind of, it was the second of going, oh, it did not matter. The puzzle matches at the very end of it, but it's not holding on to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not strong enough to keep a hold on it.
Yeah.
But there's a hold there.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of going, oh, that environment is
different.
It's like it's the same environment, but but now I realize that it's not working for me, because I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And over that week is when I figured out.
Well, over that week, that's when you figured it out.
Yeah.
So this becomes the first way that you invited us into your journey.
Yeah.
We began to be introduced to Hunter.
Yeah.
And not Hunter as the concept of transgender transitional journey, but Hunter as a name.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would like call me this.
Yeah.
Because it felt good.
It felt good.
Unlike my dead name would.
Yeah.
No offense, you guys picked a great name.
But it wasn't you.
That didn't ever feel good to hear. I'm like, that. Even now when I realize it's other people's names, it still feels like nailed to a chalkboard to me, and I'm like, ew.
Yes. And it hurts me. I mean, it not emotionally, it physically hurts me to hear your other name.
Whenever, like,
Your dead name.
Even with other people doing it, I'm like, I know I shouldn't have these feelings because they're not assigned to me.
Yeah.
But my body then tensed up and then got...
Yeah.
Ooh.
So there's that journey, but that started opening a door in our house, because when you started saying, hey, this is my name.
Yeah.
I even asked your mom. I was like, hey, do you... And this was the only way that I understood it.
Yeah.
I asked your mom if she thought you were gay. And I didn't understand transgender journey. I didn't. And she said, I don't know, but, you know, he wants to be called Hunter. He's Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that would turn out to be true in a certain degree.
Yeah.
Certain degree. A very...
So then what finally just clicked the door? It was like, what, did you have a moment, it was like, bam, this is me?
With the kind of going, oh, okay, I kind of don't fit into the gender norm from society at all.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I that don't fit into the box that I'm not perfectly being shoved in, but I'm being shoved in.
Yeah.
And that kind of hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of, and that's when I accepted it. It was the kind of like, oh, that still hurts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you get to the point that you come out.
Yeah.
When did you start to feel set free?
Like a
what?
little while after I came out. I'm sorry, we're like, pal. I'm gonna need to take off the sweater. And I'm not gonna be cold, and that's gonna be fine.
Yeah. So you came out.
When we got my haircut.
It was a haircut. I was about to say, I bet you're going to say your haircut.
GAPD really wanted me to still have it, and I'm like, yeah, there are guys with long hair. I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
But kind of, because
it's not who you are.
Literally and metaphorically, the weight of my hair was euphoric.
Uh-huh.
That I think some other trans, non-binary people will understand. That's my hair and how long it made me euphoric.
Yeah.
Because it was
long. It was down to your butt.
It was princess long hair.
Yeah.
It was princess long hair.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was 16 inches.
Yeah.
On full, it was 16 inches long, which is a foot and 4 inches of hair.
Yeah.
And
because we gave your hair away
it was long enough to
give away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And luckily now, some wonderful person who would...
Some child dealing with cancer has your hair.
And enjoying it and letting it be used in the way that it should be.
Yeah.
Enjoyed.
Yeah.
And not a hassle.
Yep.
Like, the second we took that off, it felt amazing.
Your smile was beaming that day.
I think...
literally beaming that day.
Cause I can I was always kind of pretending in elementary school.
Yeah.
To fit into the roles. The second that hair came out, I felt that I didn't have to pretend anymore.
Uh-huh.
And I felt like, okay, I don't have to act anymore. Because that's the one reason that I'm still always sad around Grandma Deb. She never got to see me. She got to see the version that I put out in the world to hide.
Yeah.
She never
met single age.
She never got to fully see me.
Yeah.
When she was alive.
And she would have been a huge ally too, buddy. No doubt. Grammy would have been a huge ally. But she never met you. Yeah.
And that's like... And when you guys always say think positively about it, I always internally goes, about what? I was pretending that whole time.
You know what? And that's fair. And that's not fair of us to say. Because we're outside of the journey. We only see who you're projecting to be.
Yeah.
And that is a fair statement. That when we kind of defend that, those first years are valuable and they're important and they weren't bad, Well, they weren't bad for us. They were
Like-
bad for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're good moments,
Yeah.
but they are like they could probably fit on my two hands. The first 10 years of my life, I could count on probably two hands the happy memories.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
Yeah.
Like, there were okay memories, and there were certainly well memories, but there's a lot of bad memories.
That's very true. That we didn't see because you didn't project them. You didn't display them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. I get it. And I'm sorry to you for that. I'm sorry to you that you've had to hear it different times. All those times weren't that bad.
Yeah.
You should be happy. But not limiting who you are.
Yeah.
Those times made you who you are now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, they were a part of the journey. I will act at minimum as it takes me to appreciate of them, but that's it.
Yeah. That's fair. That's extraordinarily fair.
And as you have heard on this podcast, we went from the hairdressers directly to wrestling.
Yeah. And that was an uber affirming night for you.
And that was because all of the guys at SoCal are kind of like already kind of automatically kind of really accepting people.
They're all good brothers. They're all good brothers.
They all view dude, bro, and I like felt euphoria the whole night.
Yeah, you got that fresh haircut, you could see yourself, and then you were walking around and it was you.
Yet,
So that was October. So let me help you out. I remember that clearly. That
Yeah.
was October of 2020.
yeah.
So
So,
that wrestling was outside and everybody there had to wear masks. That was
Yeah.
October of 2020.
and let's prove another study while we're at it. It's been 5 years, folks,
It's been 5 years.
and I haven't fallen out of it.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years, which has also been backed up by studies.
Yeah. So that's your freedom, and you got saturated in buddy, pal, brother.
Yet, we
Yeah.
gotta laugh at Mr. Impressive that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is oddly, I always love the heels.
Yeah. So you got set free in
Yes.
that. Yeah. So what we're gonna actually do.
We're going to have to break this up, folks,
We're gonna have to break this up into 2 episodes. So let's go ahead and finish up everything up to going to the doctor.
Okay.
So how did your identity journey go with just the haircut, pre-medication?
It went pretty good.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, cool, and that kind of, for a while, when people would try to correct pronoun for me, more proof that I was non-binary from the start. I would try, and I'm like, and they would go, why aren't you correcting them? And I'm like, I don't know which one to use.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm
you
still
were
figuring this out.
Discovering yourself at that moment.
Yeah, that's why
really fair.
when I came out to you guys, I came out as trans.
Yeah.
I didn't come up as trans match. I came out as trans.
Yes. And there was something that you were wrestling with within your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, like, going through that kind of still up until we started. That's more for the other side of the podcast.
But a lot of that journey at that point, you're already going out into people,
Yes.
with people, pre-medication, with
Yes.
just a change of a haircut, and it was already visible,
Yes.
your masculinity.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And you still had the bathroom arguments. You had to deal with, are you a boy or a girl? It's a question, it's a stupid, ignorant question.
That I still deal with on the day-to-day.
Yeah.
So that once you're people who are fully transitioned, email us and tell me if you still get the comment.
At thesingleHshow@gmail.com.
But-
Email us and tell us if you still get those questions, even.
If you're like, you have done all the surgeries and stuff, tell me if you still get the question.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, I'm probably always going to get them because I'm in no plan to get bottom surgery.
Yeah, but you're highly masculine. You're visibly masculine.
Yet.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop people from looking below.
That's pretty, well, people's
Yeah.
penises aren't visible unless if they're, Liam Neeson or somebody.
Yeah. That kind of. So in about a year and a half after that, 2 years.
Almost a year and a half after that.
Year and a half, because we're on our second year on T, folks.
Yeah.
We have hit the milestone.
Is where that we will talk about in our next.
Yes,
Part
we
of
will
this
talk
conversation.
about the therapy, that process, through to the end next week.
Yeah.
And then the week after that, we'll get the reveal of the idea.
Yes.
Said, but it needs.
Hopefully so. We might be able to reveal that next week.
Yeah.
But for now, that is the Single H Show.
We are the good siblings. Have a great week.